everyone, Tony from Hack Movies here, still trying to get the new set in order over there, so please excuse this. I know I'm late to the game on this one. It came out the same time as Man of Steel, and I saw Man of Steel instead, and still regretting that decision. But I finally saw This Is the End.
What the fuck?!
Now, I first heard about this movie back in December. I saw the trailer for it when I saw Django Unchained, and I thought it looked fucking hilarious.
How are we gonna jerk off? Don't look over here.
Don't look at me!
Well, you don't look at me!
There's a lot of apocalypse movies lately, especially since last year was 2012, where everyone thought the world was going to end, and of course it didn't, because why the fuck would it? I knew it was bound to get parodied at some point, and behold, we have 3 movies dealing with this now as comedies. We have This Is the End. At the same time, I think Rapturepalooza came out independently. It wasn't a big release. Both have Craig Robinson.
Yo, so I just drank my own pee for the first time. And it ain't bad.
My name is Beast.
He's the Antichrist, Dad.
He's the Antichrist. He's the Antichrist.
He's not as bad as everybody says.
Oh, come on! Not Orlando! Satan!
And soon we're going to get Edgar Wright's film, The World's End. So, people just love the end of the world recently. So let me get into the story. Jay Baruchel, I think I'm pronouncing that right, comes to Hollywood to hang out with his friend Seth Rogen. They get together, they start having fun, smoking weed, what you would expect them to do in real life. And then there's little hints that something's going on around the world. There's sinkholes popping up randomly.
And he opened the bottomless pit.
The sinkhole? Every single time I turn on the news, sinkhole in South America, a bunch of South Americans getting sucked into the ground.
Sinkhole de Mayo.
They decide to go to James Franco's house because he's throwing a killer party with every celebrity that's in all their movies. The Apatow universe, I guess we could call it. Surprisingly, no Will Ferrell. Kind of thought he would show up, but oh well. So they all go to the party, they're having fun. Sometimes they're not having fun. A lot of the movie is about how Jay wants to stay friends with Seth because they both grew up in Canada together. They got their start together. But he never really connects it with, like, the LA actors. Like, he was always close with Seth, but he can never blend in with their friends.
This is beautiful, man.
This place is like a piece of me. You two just stepped inside me.
You let us both come inside you. Yeah.
Boom. Thanks, James Franco.
Jay doesn't really get along with James Franco or Jonah Hill. And they all have their own different personalities. So at the party, Jay and Seth go to get snacks or something. I forget what it was. And suddenly the rapture happens. People are getting sucked up into the friggin' sky. All hell, literally hell starts breaking loose. They go back to the party. No one believes them at first. Then the earthquake hits. And pretty much everyone dies except for our few main characters.
Siegel's dead. Krumholtz is dead. Michael Cera's dead.
Is it bad?
The rest of the movie is just them trying to get through the apocalypse. And it leads to a really funny scene, which you've probably seen in the trailer, where they're counting all the supplies they have.
We got 12 bottles of water, 56 beers, half-ounce sour diesel, 1 ounce of shrooms, CT Crunch, a Milky Way.
Can I have that Milky Way?
Danny McBride shows up and just eats everything. So the movie basically becomes about them trying to survive the apocalypse, and it's really funny. One of the things I love about this movie, one of the good things, there have been a lot of movies where a movie really sucks, but you see the cast is having fun, like almost as if the movie was made just so the cast could hang out. I don't want to name any names, but if you ever see a movie with the word ocean in the title followed by a number, that's a good example. If you ever see a movie about a basketball team starring Will Ferrell, that's another one. But the good thing about this movie is they're all playing themselves, and that's the point of the movie. Like, they get along, you get to see them just hanging out. It's like, what would happen if our favorite actors just hung out? And I really like this premise. I wish more movies would do this. If Expendables had done this, if Expendables was literally about, like, hey, the government needs Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone, maybe, like, they did the action movies because they were really, like, secret agents or something. If that was literally the government getting the actors together to do all these missions, that would have been hilarious. Here's something you don't know. It actually the beginning's like an apocalypse movie, but once like the demon plot gets in there, it suddenly turns into horror comedy. And it's awesome.
The power of Christ compels you.
Oh, does it? Does it compel me?
The power of Christ compels you.
Does it, Jay?
The power of Christ compels
Is
you.
the power of Christ compelling me? Is that what's happening?
The power of Christ compels you.
Guess what? It's not that compelling.
Some of the effects in this movie, some of them are intentionally cheesy. Like, spoiler, Satan's in at the end, and he's a giant lava monster with a 10-foot dick, which gets cut off. And he looks cheesy. There's a flying monster that looks cheesy. But there's a scene where Craig Robinson and Jay, they go into another house to get supplies. And they're like, there's this, like, pig fucking monster chasing them. And it actually looked pretty legit. And then there's another scene where, spoiler, Jonah Hill gets raped by a demon that looks like Tim Curry in Legend, but with a 2-foot dick.
Emma Watson showed up.
Give me everything you have to drink!
There are 6 of us. You cannot rob us.
I'm not fucking around!
Look at the drinks. Hermione just stole all of our shit.
There are some negatives, not a lot though. I kind of would have liked to have seen... I know the story wasn't... Like, the story was supposed to focus on the actors who were in the house, living together, blah, blah, blah. I would have liked to have seen more cameos kind of sprinkled throughout. Like, at one point, Emma Watson shows up. And I'm like, that was funny, but, like, Paul Rudd's in the beginning, for some reason carrying a bottle of wine, and he runs away at the sinkhole. I'm like, whatever happened to Paul Rudd? Eventually, they go out of the house. They venture out. And they do bump into a few people. But, like, I kind of wanted to see them, like, turn on the TV and see what was going on around the world and just see what was happening to other celebrities that wouldn't have been able to make it to the party. Kind of would have liked to see that. Another one for me, as with all these Apatow movies, some of the jokes go on a little too long. They're funny, but there's one scene in the movie where James Franco yells at Danny McBride for masturbating onto a porn magazine, and then Danny McBride talks about what he's going to jizz on throughout the rest of the house. Really funny. It could have ended a minute or two shorter, though. It tended to drag. But other than that, fine movie. I would highly recommend it. I want to say they should do another one, but the way it ends, that's kind of impossible. If anything, they should do Pineapple Express 3. Just count the shitty handmade one in this as 2, and they're going right to 3.
BFFF, forever.
BFFFFFF.
So yeah, if it's still in theaters, I would highly recommend you go see that. If you're watching this later, rent it when it comes out. Great movie, hilarious, you will not be disappointed. I highly approve, which is rare for this show. So, that's it from Hack the Movies. Bye.
Oh! What did you just fucking blow on me? Don't worry, it's just heroin. Are you shitting me? I'm just kidding, it's cocaine. But that's still very bad.
Please, you've got to let me in! Things have gone crazy out here!
I'm sorry, we just don't know you, man. You could be like a looter or a rapist or a titty fucker.
I'm not a rapist!
Are you gonna titty fuck us?
If you want me to titty fuck you, I will! So good! Oh, you love it! There's something out here! What you want, son?
And, like, let's be real, Robert Downey Jr. is Iron Man, as much as Tony Stark is Iron Man, and his one-liners are just hilarious.
Oh, yeah. And then you find out that this scrawny, skinny, pale white guy with really short black hair is, in fact, Khan.
To which I then screamed in the theater, son of a bitch, come on!
As much as, like, the suit can be fucking awful, but if the movie's good, it's good.
Yeah.
The movie was fucking awful.
It was just...
The movie was fucking...
Plus, my women are goddesses. Venus statues, so erotic. Pull them in with slang melodic. You scared over there? Okay.